This is your boy, 5-bit bitch-ass Smileis-pro, and today we are going to be doing a Killer 101 series. I'm going to give you a brief introduction to these killers. I've been letting the chat decide who it is. We're going to start out with the Trapper. We're going to go under the premise that you have this killer at level 50 with no other killers in this game. Like, you haven't bought anybody else, no DLC characters, you haven't put blood points into anybody but this killer. And we're going to see some of the builds you could possibly come up with. So, first, let's lay down some ground rules about playing killer. First things first, and I say this and I can't stress this enough. These perks are in this game to help you. Now, that being said, they are not there to win matches for you. If you are relying on your perks to win the match, then you are playing killer wrong. A killer's perks that they run are supposed to complement their playstyle to help you achieve that victory. The perks are in this game for you to achieve that victory solely. So you need to learn some of the basics about playing killer. You need to learn mind games, you need to learn when to swing, when not to swing, you need to learn how to bait out certain perks. All that comes with practice. Secondly, there is no rule to playing killer in DBD. Now, even though it is heavily frowned upon by the community, tunneling, camping, all that good stuff, you know, all those killer tactics that are shunned by the community are free game. If you want to tunnel, tunnel. If you want to camp, camp. Just know that good survivor teams will punish you for it. Good survivor teams, if they realize that you're just going to face camp, they will go do gyms. If they realize that all you're going to do is tunnel, they're going to make sure that whoever pulls that person has borrow time. Or if it comes down to it, they'll leave that person there. Honestly, it's really not worth prestiging your killers unless you want the bloody cosmetics. It's just like prestiging the survivor. Once you prestige them, you lose all your perks, you have to start over, you get one bloody cosmetic for them. Now, the only person that I prestiged on purpose was Freddy, and that was just to get the bloody gloves, and that's it. But if you want to prestige them just to say you have them prestiged, go for it. Me, myself, personally, is not worth it. It's just really not worth it. Now, back to strategy. There is a time to camp. There is a time to tunnel. No-ed is a very realistic strategy. Don't let any of those survivor rulebook rules affect the way that you play killer. That is the second most important thing. Play killer the way you want to play killer. Remember, your aim is to win the match. Your aim isn't to go in there and have a fair, fun match with the survivor team, because I promise you this much, they don't care about the fun that you're having. They're going to run dead hard. They're going to run boil over. Somebody is probably going to run D-strike. They're going to run adrenaline. They're going to run all those annoying last chance perks that they can to save themselves. You're going to have flashlights. You're going to have toolboxes and hook drops. So remember this. The survivors playing against you do not care about having a fun, fair match with you. So don't care about having a fair, fun match with them. Because I hear it all the time. Killers, oh, they're so try-hard. They sweat so much. They're using all these busted perks. They're using no-ed. But these same survivors that are complaining about us using no-ed are the same survivors using dead hard, or using Iron Will and Calm Spirit, or using Decisive Strike, or using Lucky Break, or using any of those other annoying-ass perks in this game that makes it extremely difficult to almost impossible to catch them under normal circumstances. So yeah, don't let survivors bully you into not running certain perks. Don't let survivors bully you for the way you play. Just remember, once you get into higher ranks, some of those cheaper strategies ain't gonna work anymore. So, that being said, Trapper Dapper. For this match with Trapper, we will be running Jolt. Your survivor's side should hate you as a killer. Well, playing both sides of this game is always a good idea, because playing survivor will make you a better killer, and vice versa. Playing killer will make you a better survivor, because you get to know the perks on the other side. You get to know the camera view, what they can see, what they normally can't see. Like, a lot of survivors are shocked for the first time when they play killer because they don't know what their scratch marks look like in the environment when they're running around. When they play killer, they see just how bad their scratch marks truly are when they run. They don't realize just how narrow the killer's viewpoint truly is until they play killer, because there's a lot of moments that you've had in your games like, how did that killer not see me standing here? You got to remember, the killer has a first-person perspective while you have a third-person perspective. So your camera is about 3 to 4 times wider in view than the killer is at any given moment. So, Joel is going to make it so that whenever we put a survivor into the dying state with a basic attack, all generators within 32 meters are going to explode, and they'll lose 8% of their progress. Jolt is a starting perk. It used to belong to the Demogorgon, but since the Stranger Things chapter has been removed, it is now a starter perk that you can unlock at any time in your blood web. On top of that, we're going to be using one of the Trapper's actual perks, Unnerving Presence. So survivors within your terror radius have a 10% greater chance of triggering a skill check, and the skill check zones are reduced by 60%. Now, in higher levels, I wouldn't recommend using this, but starting out, it can make skill checks difficult for new survivors. The stressing is going to make your terror radius bigger. That way, people will be under the effect of Unnerving Presence on more of a regular basis. And Sloppy Butcher. That way, when we do hit somebody, it's going to take them an extra long time to heal compared to normal. Good maps for this guy. Dark maps with tall grass. Trap, and there's somebody else running nearby. We're gonna let that person in the trap sit there and free themselves. Alright, so here we go. You know what? I'm gonna do myself a favor right now. I'm gonna do this right now because they will never expect this to be here. So let's do ourselves that favor, put that right there. Pick up a trap and let's go. So with this add-on, we can carry a maximum of 3 traps at any given time. The green bag allows us to pick up 3 traps. So let's go find some survivors. Sounds like there's a couple gens being worked on over here. Alright, I'm gonna run me around Shack, of course. The best strategy for anybody running through Shack, just follow them through the whatever window they decide they're going to hop through. Alright, we chase somebody off this gen too. Fantastic. We're going to break out this door, do ourselves a favor. And we are going to set a trap at this window and do ourselves another favor. And we are also going to put a trap at this window here. As you see, not having the purple bag, it's a little cumbersome with the trapper, because you gotta go through the trouble of picking them up as you go along. So let's make our way back over here to the gens that they were working on. Yep, basement is also there, you're correct, so you gotta keep that in mind. As a trapper, it's always good to know where your basement is to start off. They just popped off the gen. Now she's gonna go back through this window more than likely. No, she ran all the way around. She's smart. Somebody set off that trap by the window, which is smart on their part. She got a pallet. Well done. So let's go ahead and chase him on through. Chase him on through and around. We're gonna go all the way around. That was a good pallet drop. Cut off that window altogether. Oh, she has boiled over. So much for going to the basement. Luckily for us, there's a hook right here. Put one in this pallet here. Put one behind this window here. And then we'll set one in this pathway. It's here as well, which means we'll need to pick some up as we go along. Oh, Claudette's here. See if we can't get her to run into one of our traps. Yeah, she knows she has nowhere to play in here. Down to Claudette. Chase her through, see if we can't get her to actually go into a trap. Oh no, she took off the other way. So let's go ahead and hook Claudette now. Same spot, same routine. Let's go ahead and kick this. Oh, never mind. We got a piece of her. She took off. Let's go ahead and kick this generator. Oh, she had blast mine. That was cute. Oh, nobody still came for you, huh, Claudie? That's unfortunate. That one is still... It sounded like somebody else was over here. I could be wrong. No, somebody else was over here. I was right. You're the one with boil over, aren't you? Yes, you are. So, yeah, basement's out of the question. Just because of boil over. Right here. Do ourselves that favor. And our 3 gens a little spread out. We got this gen here. It's going to continue to regress. We got this gen here that they're actively working on. Let's go ahead and chase my man off of here. We got a piece of him. Dwight thought he was slick. Go ahead and chase Dwight through. Hopefully he goes to where our traps are. Actually, they disarmed that trap, didn't they? They sure did. Alright, let's head on back over here where they got the unhook. Go down there. Chase her through. Chase her through. Good hit at the window. Beautiful. Chase her away. Kate, where'd you go? Kate crawled away. It's alright. Let's go check on our generators real quick. Had a feeling. And there he goes. course, like I told you, playing at high MMR, not every build that I show you is going to work out for me. But don't be discouraged, because just because it didn't work out for me does not mean that it will not work for you. And then we'll reset this one. They opened one of the doors already, so let's give them a little bit of distance to pull them off the hook. She's purposely leading me away. So let's see if we can't get her to hit our trap. Guess not. That's alright though. We'll grab this one. Grab this one. They got the unhook. Not surprised. See if we can down her real quick. Got her. Was it worth it though? Was it worth it? Was it worth it, guys? We'll take a 3K out of that. Altruism will get you killed every time. Yeah, GG to this squad. They got a little too cocky for their own good, and their overly altruistic ways is what got them killed. What should have been a 1K for me turned into a 3K. So we'll take it. But yeah, with Trapper, play to your strength. A lot of people know how to play against a Trapper. Disarming traps are the best way to go. As you go along, just try to place them in areas that you know survivors will run through. If you play a lot of Survivor, then you already have a pretty good idea where you should put traps down when you're walking around. Normal routes that you would take, normal windows. If you see a pallet that's over by a generator that's being worked on, it's always a good idea to put a trap there. So yeah, with a Trapper, you just have to have a little bit of map knowledge and basically have to make them run in the directions you want them to run. So if you cut off one direction and force them to go another, they're going to have no good option to choose from after.